I'm assuming if I...
Do you ever scroll social media and see an ad and think, that's too good to be true? Well, that happened to me, and this was the ad.
How much are these racing simulator cockpits? Around £1,000?
£1,000? You can get all of them for that money. This simulator offers you an amazing racing experience.
So of course, seeing this ad, I had to check it out for myself, and that's going to take us to today. I have just got myself a new racing sim rig for reasons I'll explain later in the video. It has arrived in 2 massive boxes straight from China, and that is because I've ordered it from TEMU. So not only is this just a simple racing sim stand, it is literally a whole cockpit with sound, which we'll get into later on. So if you can't tell already, but I am super excited, let's get these boxes open. So weirdly, I'm actually going to start with box B. Now this thing weighs an absolute ton. As you can see on the side, it even says racing cockpits. And I believe in this box is the actual tubular frame that all the wheel and pedals and everything will sit on. So weirdly, when I ordered this box, it literally came within 2 days of me ordering it. So they must stock these somewhere in the UK. It's got like a whole user guide with everything in. Whoa, that's cool. Okay, there's a lot to this. I'm so excited. So if you couldn't already tell, I'm actually in my bedroom. The bed is here, the wall is here, and we are fitting the sim rig right here. Unfortunately, this is the only place I have for it, and it's gonna be out the way and the place where I will get to use it the most. So this is where we're setting it up. There's limited space, and this is gonna give us an idea of how well it's gonna fit. So that gives you an idea of the width that we're gonna be working with. Because where the radiator is, it's gonna be a little bit annoying, but we'll make it work. So I've just literally pushed together some of the tubular frame just to get an idea of how it's gonna fit in the space. Surprisingly, it's actually nowhere near as long as I thought it would be. And the width is actually pretty good as well. I think I'm gonna have loads of room. However, before I can bolt any of this together, I actually have to open box A first, because this bit here is the seat, and I have to bolt the bottom bit to the bracket before I bolt it to anything else. One of the things that I've already noticed about how they package this is look how cute they package up all the nuts and bolts. It's like so well organized.
Oh, so cute!
That is plus points already for this thing. This here, I believe, obviously is the backrest. So step 1 in the instructions, I actually need the bottom part of the seat to bolt it into the frame, and that is hopefully step 1, which we're going to attempt right now. It's like Christmas Day with so many boxes. Got the instructions, got it nicely, cutely packaged up for me. That is already the bottom seat kind of in. Did I do that the right way around? I think I did. This is how low down we're going to be sat. Whoa. You know what? That's pretty comfy actually. Whoa, look at that as well. It's got like a... Let me show you that. It's got like a little side pocket for, you know, keeping your chocolate bars in. Oh, or cables apparently. Interesting. I'll have to explore all the little hidden secrets this thing has once we've fully built it. Okay, so step 2 literally just involved getting it back to where we kind of had it before. However, I have now actually bolted it in at the bottom of here, so these bits are connected. There are then some bolt holes on either side here, and that is step 3. So step 3 is also pretty cool because it adds another large bit onto the frame. This is, I believe, where the mounting for the monitor will go. There we go. I think that's pretty sturdy. What is step 4? Let's find out. Okay, step 4 seems pretty easy. It is the steering wheel plate to go on next. If I take that out, you can see it's got these 3 adjusters. So we could go forward and back, and we can tilt it. So I'm going to start by putting it in the middle one. So what I might do, because I might end up having to take this back off, obviously, when I mount the actual steering wheel, I'm just going to put these in pretty loose for now. Okay, this is the floor plate. And again, there are kind of different height and different angled holes on the sides that we can then adjust the angle of the floor plate to where we want it. Now this is going to be interesting because obviously it doesn't seem that far away from where you're actually sat, and I'm a pretty tall guy, so we'll see how this works out. So that is the pedal bracket kind of put on now, the pedal plate. There was meant to be plastic spacers that go there, but I found to get them on both sides, it was just, they were too long. So I could cut them down maybe and try and reuse them, but for now I've just left them off because I will probably have to take that plate back off anyway when I fit the pedals. Okay, next up, we actually have to fit the bracket that goes between these two posts here so it can hold the monitor on. But I'm gonna do a little bit of editing magic, and with the click of my fingers, it is literally fitted to the car. So this is what the monitor is actually then gonna attach to. But the exciting bit comes now because we are fitting the back of the seat. So in order to fit the back of the seat, we first have to fit these onto the side of the bottom seat. Now I'm pretty excited about this because I think that means that the seat is going to be reclinable. Okay, that is both side brackets fitted. We can now fit hopefully the back part of the seat. Nice and plasticky, love it. It's got this like fake carbon fiber going along it. Fair enough. It's very much like a fake synthetic leather. Not too bad though. Right, I think this is the chair kind of fitted in properly now. Only one thing left to do but test it. There we go, I am now officially sitting in the cockpit. This is pretty cool. I'm assuming the handle down here is what reclines it. Only one way to find out. Oh, okay. Oh, that goes really far. Whoa, this goes so far. Oh, I think I've hit them. Whoa, that's a big ping. Oh, that's comfy now. I think I could actually, you know, if I have people stay over, just be like, oh, it's fine, you don't need a bed, just sleep here.
Once in a while I dream. Once in a while I think of you. I reminisce.
This is proper comfy. I'm assuming if I... Jesus Christ. Okay, maybe it's a little bit strong on the return. Goodness me. Okay, maybe I need to have weight on it when you do the return. Ease it back up. Yeah, ease it back up. Don't let it just shoot up. Okay, but that means you can get into like a comfy position, especially because I'm quite tall. Like being able to recline doesn't feel like the most solid thing. It does work, but I'm a bit nervous to use it too much. But if I'm slightly reclined, yeah, and I have my pedals far away, I've actually got loads of space. Right, there's still more to fit to it though. We're not done there. Oh, okay, so now it's got dust covers to go on. We'll fit those and then I'll come back once that's done. So I fitted one dust cap on this side, and to be honest, that does really complete the look of this. It makes it look a lot sleeker. So that little hole that's there is now filled in. So that is the dust covers fitted, just a little bit of added extra bit that we needed. Now I thought the seats were already pretty comfy. However, they also give these like plush velvet like cushions to go on it. So we're gonna try these and see if it makes it even more comfy.
How to put on suspenders. Very simple, and it's a great look. Enjoy it. I'm Wendy Braswell, beauty and style expert.
Adjustment, they're just like elastic. Right, we'll give it a seat. I wasn't sure about it because I've never actually tried like the lumbar support or the neck pillow kind of things before on chairs. I know they have them on like office gaming chairs, but I've never had them, and actually pretty comfy. Would recommend. Oh, this is an important one actually we need to do next. I think it's this part here, and there's another bit that goes with it. Okay, so based on the next piece that actually needs to go on, I've actually decided to spin it around again because I think this is going to make best use of the space, because we're actually going to have something sticking out on the left-hand side here. So that is the bit of the side that I was talking about. I've just finished attaching it to the side here. So with the gear shifter bit now installed, the next bit I installed was actually just getting a monitor mounted onto the bracket. Now this was just a monitor that I had lying around. It's really not very good, but it will have to do for now. If you guys get this video to 500 likes, I will actually buy a proper gaming monitor from TEMU and see how good it is. So this is essentially the TEMU cockpit kind of fully set up and built. But you might be wondering, what am I actually going to be using for the racing wheel pedals and gear shifter? Now, because this is obviously a budget build, hence the reason I got a whole cockpit from TEMU, I've got essentially like the entry-level model of the Moza. So Moza, This is essentially the R3, and this is their kind of entry level model. It's the cheapest one they have, but it's supposed to still be pretty good. So I'm gonna get the wheel set up on the mount right here now, get the pedals in, and we'll see what it's looking like. So in that time lapse, you would have seen I just got the base kind of mounted on there. I attached the pedals down the bottom, and I also messed around and got this lower, which will be important, and I'll explain why in a minute. So I time lapsed the really boring bit, but this bit I'm really excited for. So they've got this little cover on the end of here, which we can peel off. That's out the way. And then this is the steering wheel to go on. This is just the one that comes with it. I think Moza or other companies sell loads of different wheels that can go on here, but this is the one that comes with the standard model. Again, has this little thing we peel off the back, and then in there is like the electrical connector, and it's meant to be like a quick release. I've not tried this, so hopefully it just is really simple. You're meant to align it in a certain way, but I'm not sure. Yeah, you line up the ball bearings, I think. Whoa, there we go. Yeah, and that's in. Yeah, that's sick. Now that the wheel's on, I feel like it needs to be tilted back a little bit. So I'm going to adjust that. But I do actually have some little more features for this than just this. So the first extra little goodie I got for this is a clutch pedal. This was an optional extra that I wanted to get. It's really important to me having this as well as one other item, and I'll explain why in a second. This is the other item I got. Yes, I got a proper shifter for this thing. Now the reason it's so important I have the clutch pedal and a shifter for this because of what I've got planned for a future video. I'll tell you about that in a bit more detail, but first I'm going to get these new pieces fitted onto the sim rig. So that is pretty much the clutch pedal and the gear shifter installed. The only thing left to do is fit the gear knob on top. This thing feels weighty. I actually really like the feel of it. All you have to do, I think, is just screw it on. You can probably just see the top of it here. If I pan down so you can see it better. So this here, you can see the platform it's on isn't the most stable. Now, I don't know if there's a way I can reinforce this. This is just obviously to do with the TEMU rig that came with it. It's a bit long, I think, is the issue. Maybe if it cut down, it wouldn't be so wobbly. I've got it obviously mounted as close to me as possible, but this thing is really solid. So when it clicks into gear, but yeah, that's cool. You can hear those like really loud clicks as it goes into gear. I do fit obviously me pushing down and wiggling this a lot. There's a lot of movement here, but hopefully it should be okay. Maybe we'll have to try and think of an upgrade we can do to make this stronger. Now the only thing left to do is actually connect all the cables up, and obviously I need to connect them to something, so I'll show you what I've got. So what I'm going to be connecting it to is actually my old gaming computer. Now I built this about 8 or so years ago. It's a mini ITX one, so it's nice and small, and hopefully we can fit it down the side. It should be good enough to run some games, but maybe not the newer ones, so maybe an upgrade is needed in the future. I do obviously have my newer gaming PC, but that is set up at the desk for editing and working, etc. So I can't have it up here next to the gaming rig. So luckily I do have this PC I can use, and let's hope it's good enough to run most games. Right, I'm gonna get this all connected up and do it in a time lapse, and then I'm gonna show you what I talked about earlier, the fact that this has inbuilt sound. The TEMU Cockpit has inbuilt sound. I know that sounds crazy, and I did get really excited, so I've already tested it, and I was pleasantly surprised by the sound it makes. I'll show you in just a second. Let's get this connected first. So for the most part, I got pretty much every single cable hidden other than this one, which I'll explain why in a second. I also got a wireless keyboard and mouse, which is then going to be really easy to use when I'm sat in the seat. I can just use the computer before I get into the racing game. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with my own cable management here. I think that's pretty good, especially when you're sat in the cockpit, you can't even see the cables, so pretty happy with that. Now the reason I have this long trailing USB-C is actually going back to what we found in this pocket earlier. So inside this pocket there is this little device which you hook up to the cables here and then it goes all the way through and wires in at the back. Now this is literally just a Bluetooth receiver. Now you might be asking, what do I need a Bluetooth receiver for? Here it is connected at the back, and what it's connecting to is a speaker on this side and on this side. So yes, this Cockpit does indeed come with its own inbuilt speakers, which is pretty cool. Right, I'm gonna get this computer switched on, see if it all works, and show you what the sound is like. Okay, so I loaded up and it all seems to be working, and I've got this thing here, and if I push the button,
power on.
Hopefully you heard that. That came from the speakers literally right behind me. And then I also went and downloaded some royalty-free music. So let's give this a listen and you guys can tell how good this is or how bad it is. Your decision. It's probably pretty quiet through the mic. Let me fix that. Okay, reality is you're probably not going to be playing some weird country music while you're driving. You're going to be listening to the car engine. So let's give that a try and see how it sounds. Now, because this is PC gaming, I managed to pick up some crazy good deals on different racing games, which I'll flash up on screen here. Yes, I did get it that cheap. Is that normal? I don't know, but I was very happy to see those prices. So we're going to start by trying out Assetto Corsa, listen to some of the car sounds, and obviously see how the wheel and the shifter are and the pedals in this game. Okay, so as far as I'm aware, the Moza has like the Moza Pit House like application, which maps all of the controls to the game as best it can. So it kind of cuts out the faff of you would normally have to go through all the settings and sort that out. So I'm hoping it is literally just like plug and play, ready to go. So it's only set up with just the paddle shifters for now, but I will also try out the gear stick too. You can already hear it starting to rumble. Just like a low rumble. That's in gear 1. Should just need accelerator and brake. This is already so sick. Oh, I never promised I was good at driving. Uh-oh. Fair enough. It's my first time driving it, so what do you expect? But the cool thing as well is with the sound with the speakers, because they're right on your back, you can literally feel the vibrations through your back when you're accelerating. It's such a cool feeling. Right, I'm in a different car now, but if you can tell, I put the clutch down and into first, and it picks it up down the bottom there. I am now in gear 1, so I can let off the clutch. If I just let off the clutch without any accelerator, what happens? I stall it. I can still kind of stall it. Way too fast. It's much harder trying to use a gear shifter. Go on the long straight now. Oh. Wait. Oh, I just tried to do left foot braking. That did not go well. Yeah, the gear shifter makes this so sick. Having the gear stick was such a good choice, especially with the clutch pedal as well. It just feels so real. But I did mention there's a reason why I got this, and that's because the video I have planned next is I'm going to be doing a drift day with both my dad and my brother, and the plan is we're going to see if I can use this racing setup to make me a better drifter before the day we go drifting. Okay, so that is literally the whole TEMU racing setup done, and I am so happy with the results. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think? Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss to see what happens in that next video and find out all the other crazy stuff that goes on this channel. But that is it for this one. I will catch you in the next one.